Hello and welcome to another product review, and yes, yet another power station. Yes, I know we review a lot of power stations, but I like reviewing them. Right, first things first, this has come from AllPowers. Here's the box. Well, it's not actually the box, I'll get into that in a moment, but it's from AllPowers. Firstly, I just want to apologise to AllPowers. They did want an outdoor review. I'm not doing an outdoor review. We're on a secret location. We're filming on a secret campsite, so we can't reveal where we are. So, it's going to have to be indoors, I'm afraid. But, they sent this out. Now, they told me they were sending us a 700 watt, a new one, a new power bank they've got, a power station. 700 watt, and this turned up, it says S500 on it. So I just queried it with them. I says, I thought you were sending a 700 out, not a 500. And she checked it. She says, yeah, you've definitely got a 700, but it might be in the old packaging. So it's not an S500, it's an S700 in old packaging, so ignore that, right? Same size box though, same size box. Right, so no airs and graces with this company. What you see is what you get. It's not like the one I showed you the other day, which looked like a 70s ghetto blaster. This thing, it's sleek, it's small, it's practical, and it does the job. I'm excited about this one. We have reviewed an AllPowers one in the past, so we know it's quality. I remember the review on the last one, it was brilliant. So we know this is going to be a good product. What do you get in the box? A power station, some instructions, and a power lead. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need any more. You know, they're not trying... This is what I love about... I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to have to do. This is what I love about AllPowers. It's just a box, right? Straightforward, shows the product. It is what it is. There's no fancy buttons, no... You know, they're not trying to make it look good. It's supposed to be practical. Naming no names, the one I showed the other day, you know, it looks fantastic. But it's not all about looks, is it? It's about what the thing can do. So, this, my friends, is 700 watts. Yes, I know it's tiny, isn't it? It's tiny. Let me just lift this handle up. I'm trying not to make the camera jump there. So that's the little handle with a rubber bottom so it's comfortable to pick up. Look how small it is. This is 700 watts. This is smaller than any of the 500 watt ones I've ever reviewed. I've just looked at some dimensions. Most 300 watt ones are about this size. Weight on this one, I've just had some specs up here. If I can find them, just bear with me a second. I think it was 5 kilogram. 5.3 kilogram. It's nothing. I can hold it on a couple of fingers. 'Cause normally with these power banks, you're struggling, especially in a motorhome, as to where you're going to store it. Or if you are wanting to go out for a trek with it, you know, if you're camping and you want to walk a mile with it, that can be quite difficult. It's nothing. It's nothing. So, weight-wise, brilliant. Dimensions-wise, incredible. Absolutely incredible. 26 centimetres, 18 centimetres and 14 centimetres. That's it. That's it. That's as big as it is. So, I've never had a 700 watt one in the past. I've only ever seen 300, 500, 1000, 1500, so and so and so. So I've never seen a 700 before, so I think it's a really good in-between wattage, because you do find a lot of things are, you know, 500's a little bit too low, and 1000's just a little bit too dear normally. You know, you're starting to cross that bracket. I always say what you expect to pay in the UK is £1 per watt. So if it's a 500 watt one, you expect to pay £500 in the UK. So when you're talking about 1000 watt, it starts to get a bit more expensive, doesn't it? Because you're looking at about £1,000. This one, I'm not going to tell you the price, simply because I'm waiting for a link from the company. I've seen 2 prices for this online. I can tell you now, it's not as much as £700, and it's 700 watts, right? if they give me the link I'm hoping they're going to give me, it's incredibly cheap. Incredibly cheap. I will be putting links in the description, so look out for them. So, it's the size. That's what I love about it. I love the fact it's a flat top, so you can store it, you can store things on top of it. Brilliant. Let's take a closer look. So here it is. As I said, the handle itself has a lovely little rubber bottom there, and it tucks down there beautifully. As you can see, it's part of the, keeps its rectangular shape. Love that. On the side here, you've got your input, so you've got 12 volts, cigarette port there, cigarette lighter. You've got your Anderson solar panel connectors, so you can hook it up to either, it says 100 or 200 watts this will take, a solar panel. And your straightforward charging adapter there, which they do supply you with. Okay, so that's on that side. Nothing on the back, absolutely nothing. You know why? Because you don't need it. It doesn't have to look good, it has to do a job. I'm so impressed, it's just sleek and lovely. So the other side, you've got 2 DC outputs, you've got 3 USBs and a USB-C. On the front, you've got 2 AC ports, which, you know, this is all you have to do on these. The one I tried to review last time from a different company just had American things in there. All you have to do is stick these in, and that will now work for the English ones, I keep saying English, don't I? The UK market and the European market. I don't know if you can see this, it's a bit dark, isn't it? So I'll go that way. So, you've also got 2 lovely little lights. I like them. Look at that. They are quite bright as well. I've never known one with 2 lights. And you know what I love about this? There's no messing about. It's not like press it twice and you'll get SOS signal coming out. Press it 3 times and it'll go a bit dimmer. It's just one setting. It's bright. Brilliant. So you've got 2 of them. And then you've got your on button here. Just a little press and it comes on. Keep that pressed. I think it's 3 seconds. Turns green there. And up in the top corner here is a little indicator which shows that it's now got Bluetooth on. It's Bluetooth, so we have an app. I'll show you that in a bit. I've just turned the Wi-Fi off for now, just so I can show it more clearly. So that's your on-off. To use DC, you just press that once quickly. So now you can use all your USB points. Turn that off. For your AC, keep your finger pressed for a couple of seconds. The fan kicks in just for a couple of seconds, and now you can use your plugs. Let's get straight on to the app. So I've put the Wi-Fi on. You can see it's on in the top corner there. So I've got an AllPowers app here which I've downloaded. I have signed in. So it's showing 56%, which is correct. It says 56% on there. Now you've got LED, 12 volt, USB, your AC and Hertz. And you've got 5 little toggles here. So let's try the LED, for example. If I press that, it puts the lights on. I just love it. I love it. So, for example, especially what could be useful here is your plug sockets, your AC. So if you're in bed, you might have a fan on, and it might be not be within reach. You might have a mini heater or something, or a spotlight, what you want to put on through the night. Just press it on there and it'll come on. Brilliant. Just leave them plugged in overnight, yeah. So I like that little app. You know, I've always thought, do you really need an app for these things? I don't know, but it is a nice little free extra. Let's now talk about what you can charge on this, a 700 watt generator. The battery, what's inside there, I believe it's 606 watt hours battery capacity. So what you can charge with that, for example, a phone, if it was a 5 watt charging phone, you would get 100, 105 recharges of your phone. It's unbelievable. You know, you're going off grid. The one thing everyone wants to be able to charge is the phone and the laptop. That's the two things you really want these for. To be able to charge your phone 100 times off one charge is incredible. You know, 700 watt. For the size of it, it's just unbelievable. Laptop, you can do it on your USB if you've got a more modern laptop, which takes 60 watts, so you can get about 9 charges on a laptop, up to 100%. Fridge, a 40 watt fridge, 12 to 13 hours. You can charge a 10 watt battery in 52 times. What else have we got? Kettle, 120 watt kettle, 4.5 hours. It's impressive, it's impressive. Now, I did a little test on this, if I can find my notes here. I tried charging this with the charger, the AC charger, yeah? And I was making notes about how long each, you know, how long it was taking. So, it was at 0% when we got it. That's the first time we've ever received one where it hasn't got a charge. They normally send you them out with about 60% charge on them. Completely dead, so I had to fully recharge it. But I thought that's a good chance for me to do a little test. So, plugging it in into a house, it was on 0%. In 6 minutes, it was on 12%. 6 minutes, it was on 12%. I was in shock. 19 minutes, it was on 37%. And then it slowed down a bit. I don't understand why, really. In 60 minutes, it was at 47%. But I've read on here, I think it says in an hour and a half, it will get up to 80%. It will fully recharge in 3 hours. So that's really, really good. But as I say, I found for the first 37%, 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So if you do ever run out of battery, and you know, maybe you're on a campsite, maybe you could go up to, I don't know, maybe you could knock on someone's door. Can I just use your power just for 10 minutes just to put a bit of charge in my thing? And in 10 minutes you're going to get a good 20% back in that. So yeah, very, very impressed with the charging time. I also tried it on solar. Oh yes, not an AllPowers solar panel, a different companies, just to see if it'll handle a different companies. It did. It did. I was getting 93 watts out of a 100 watt solar panel when I plugged it into this, and it wasn't, you know, it wasn't full beaming down sun. So yes, you can charge it on solar, no problem whatsoever. Now, the one thing I've always said with power banks is I wish they'd put all the controls on one side. They never do. They've never done it, any company. But on this, at least you get all your input on one side and your output on the other. Right, so you've got all your USBs on one side. But any charging of this is done on that side. So that's not too bad. But it would be lovely if they were all just on the front. Because I tend to, how can I explain it? I have it like down here, so this back side isn't really accessible. I can only really get to that side, so I prefer them all on one side if they're going to use the sides. But no, I'm not going to knock it for that, that's for sure. I got something a bit wrong. I think I said it fully charges in 3 hours. I'm reading two things here. I'm reading online and I'm reading the instructions, and they seem to say different things. So I'm a bit confused. In the instructions it says, well, I think it said it will charge up to 80% in 1.5 hours. That's what it says online. On here it is saying it takes 5 to 6 hours to fully charge on AC at 100 watts coming in. From your 12 volt carport, 5-6 hours. USB-C, which is a 60 watt input, 10 hours. Or wall charger and USB-C at the same time, which gives you 160 watts, 4 hours. Solar panels, 5 to 6 hours. Anyway, that's that. Right, I want to do a little test. Now, I know this is going to overload. It's a 700 watt power station with a 1400 watt power surge, right? So, I've got an hairdryer, Mazzy's hairdryer. Even on the biggest of biggest, this doesn't always work on the fullest speed because this is quite powerful. But, let's just try this. Is it on? Oh, that's something else I'm noticing. These plugs aren't really in a very good place because the power on button, you can hardly get your finger to it because this plug's in the way. But if you put your plug in this one, you can't see the input very well. So, not the best place for them really. Would have been better underneath, I think. But, you know, just little niggly things. So, I'm going to plug this in. Put it on the DC. No, on the AC, sorry. The fan kicks in. As I say, it goes off itself after a couple of seconds. Noise-wise, it has got a bit of a noise to it. You know, you wouldn't really notice it, I don't think. So, I'm going to try this hairdryer now on the lowest setting, right? That is 400 watts. So Mazzy would be very happy with this because she can actually dry her hair on the lowest setting. It'll take her longer, but she can use this on such a small power bank, which is a massive plus for us. But try and go any higher, because I know it's going to go over 700 watts now. It kicks in, it works, because it's, you know, it's not going over the 1400 watts, but then the average power is about 800 watts. It's just a bit too powerful. But, you know, I'm just giving you an example, and so you can tell what happens. It automatically just shuts down. It started beeping there, and it shuts off to keep this safe and to keep this safe. So you're not in any danger of damaging any of your products. So another good little safety feature. But yeah, overall, I have to say, this is my favourite under 1000 watts, definitely. So let's just round this up, shall we? What are the big pluses about this one? Firstly, it's 700 watts, right? I do like the fact it's 700. The size is the perfect thing for me. That is its selling point. As I say, we must have reviewed 20, maybe even 30 power stations now. This is the smallest one we have reviewed, and it's 700 watts. 5.3 kilograms, I think I said it was. It's nothing, nothing. Would I recommend this particular one? Most definitely. As I say, with AllPowers, there's no airs and graces. It's just what you see is what you get. They've set out, and they do this with all theirs. We've used the big one of theirs as well. They set out to do something. Make a power station. Make it as small as possible. Make it as compact as possible. Make it as simple as possible. Make it idiot proof. They've ticked all the boxes. They've come up with something fantastic, and if the price I think it's going to be is going to be the price, you'll have to click on the link in the description to find out. It's also an incredible price. So get yourselves down there, consider getting one. I believe it's actually called the S700, so ignore the end of that. But yeah, 700 watt power station by AllPowers. Round of applause, that's all I can say. See you all later. Beautiful.